Hello. Thank you for joining me today for this grounding yoga practice where we will be using 2 blocks and a strap. So I like to use a strap like this with loops. It's just easier sometimes to hold, but you can use any strap you have. And also with the blocks, you can get different kinds of blocks. This is my light black block that I sometimes use. But I also have these cork blocks that are a little bit heavier. So sometimes it's fun to use a little bit heavier of a block to work your arms just a little bit more for strengthening. So I'm just mentioning that if you're looking to getting props, just some different options you have. And of course, if you don't have blocks, you can do this practice without blocks. So we're gonna get started on our backs, taking a long body stretch, reaching our toes and fingers apart. And then a nice sigh out, placing one hand on our chest and one on our belly. You can stay with your legs like this in Savasana, or if you'd like, you can bend your legs just a little bit. You bend your knees with your feet together, opening up your hips in this reclined butterfly, but a very gentle one without much bend in your knees. Let's take a moment here to relax and breathe. Feel very grounded and supported. Noticing how your body is feeling physically, mentally, spiritually and emotionally, with no judgment, just noticing. Now let's take one deep, full breath in through our nose, filling up our belly and our chest. And a very gentle sigh out, releasing and relaxing. We'll slowly bring our knees up. We're going to grab one knee at a time and gently pull our knees towards us. And breathe. And then maybe bring your knees out just a little bit, getting a little bit wider of a stretch here. Really relaxing your feet and your toes, maybe pressing your tailbone down. And we're going to place our left foot on the mat, find our strap. You can either put the loop around the ball of your foot, or you can put the middle of whatever strap you have around your foot. Your left knee can be bent, or you can straighten it. And you can have as much bend in this right knee as you'd like. We're going to do a few little circles here, kind of feeling like you're massaging your back and your hips. This gentle movement. And then we'll go the other direction. Now let's pause and center, pressing our heel up. You can still have a bend in your knee. Maybe it straightens a little bit more. And we're just going to gently pull our leg back just enough where we feel a little resistance, but not a very big stretch right now. And then we'll slowly bend that right knee, keeping our knee at 90. So we're getting this little half happy baby. Relaxing our leg as our arm is holding the strap. And carefully take the strap off. We're going to go to the other leg. So once again, your right knee can be bent or straight. We're going to place the strap around the ball of our left foot and do some circles. Always noticing that this leg may feel different than the other leg. So really taking your awareness to your body and how it feels. And now we'll switch directions of the circles. Still feeling this nice massage on our low back, top of our glutes. pause and center, pressing that heel up, just giving that gentle pull on the strap. Right leg is relaxed, toes falling out. And slowly bend that knee, keeping it at about 90 while you're holding the strap. And we'll release the strap. Let's place it around our shins. We're going to just do a few little rolls, so kind of rolling up and down. And then make your way into a seated position. So whatever strap you have, you're going to fold it in a way where your arms are about the distance of your knees. And we're going to lift the strap up. So we're holding the strap kind of gently. It's just supporting our arms. And we're going to side bend right and left. You can shut your eyes, noticing how your side waist is feeling. Maybe you're a little stiff. And the next time we come left, let's drop our left hand, bending our right elbow as we side bend to the left. So we're not really thinking about our arms much. We're more focusing on this side stretch to our waist. And inhale up, and we'll go the other way. So we're pressing that sit bone down as we reach our shoulder up and away, and breathe. And release back up. Let's take the strap behind our shoulders, elbows are close. Again, that light grip on your strap. We're going to do a little rotation right and left, kind of going at your own speed, your own pace, getting this energy, this prana in our spine moving. Maybe you get little cracks. Whenever I say that, it's because I got a little crack. Now we'll pause and turn to the left, dropping our chin, really relaxing your arms, but maybe your right foot is pushing down on the mat. Feel how that gives you a little more rotation. And breathe. And then we'll go the other way, pressing that left foot down into the mat. And release. We're going to let the strap fall over our right shoulder and take our left hand, grabbing the strap behind us and kind of walking your shoulder blade up. You can even take your right arm and give just a very gentle tug, and then relax the right arm down. We're going to rotate to the left. So you're pulling that left elbow back, but pulling in your belly, sitting up nice and straight. You can look to the left if you'd like. And then take that right arm up and just give one little gentle tug and release it down. And we're going to go to the other side. So the strap will go around your left shoulder, right arm finding the strap, kind of wiggling it where it feels comfortable, maybe giving a little tug with the left arm, sitting up nice and straight, and then turning to the right, pulling that right elbow back, maybe dropping your head, maybe just looking to the right and breathing. Stretching our internal rotators of our shoulders. And release. Let's place the strap to the side. We're going to take one block and inhale up while we tuck our chin, and then exhale round as we look up. So it's kind of like we're doing this cat-cow movement with the block. Moving our pelvis forwards and backwards. Following our breath. Now the next time you bring the block up, reach it up, tuck your chin and breathe. And then we're going to bring the block down, and we're going to do the same type of cat-cow, but this time we're going to be moving the block around our body. So as we inhale, we bring the block back, coming forward, looking up. As we exhale, the block comes forward, rounding, tucking our chin. So inhaling as the block comes back, exhaling as it comes forward. Getting this mobility in our shoulders. Now the next time the block comes forward, let's round our back and pause and breathe. And then we'll go the other direction. So bring the block the other way as you're passing it from hand to hand. Last time, when it comes forward, let's pause and breathe as we round and release. Find your other block. We're going to come on all fours, and our hands are going to be on the blocks, but we're not going to be in a tabletop per se. We're going to have the blocks a little bit forward and very wide on the mat. So it's just a little bit different of a stance here. And then we're going to do some cat-cows. So let's inhale, arching our back, looking up. Exhale, rounding, pulling in our belly as we tuck our chin. So following your breath. Now let's pause in neutral. Turn the blocks to the higher level so they're easier to hold. And we're going to do some bird dogs, alternating arms and legs lifting. So we'll start lifting the block with our right hand and our left leg and release. And then do the other side. So we're going slowly, keeping our hips level. So we're not letting the leg that lifts kind of curl out. You're keeping it level to the ground. And the next time the right arm and the left leg come up, let's pause. And 3 times we're going to tap the block on the bottom of our foot. And this last time, pause and hold. Maybe lift your foot a little higher and breathe. And release it down. Let's do the other side. So let's lift the left arm and the right leg and pause. And then 3 times tap that arm on the bottom of your foot. This last time, pause and hold. You can lift your leg a little higher if you'd like, breathing. And release it down. Let's turn the blocks to the lower level. We're going to go into a puppy dog pose. So keeping our bottom over our knees and sinking our chest towards the mat. You can adjust the blocks as you need to. So with our hands on the blocks, we're getting a little more of a stretch in our shoulders. Opening up our chest. Now let's slowly come up, lifting our feet as we bend our elbows, dropping our chest down, and then back towards child's pose. Following your breath, moving slowly, noticing how your muscles feel. The next time you bend your elbows, let's pause and breathe. And then slowly press back. We're going to take our hands off the blocks and come down into a child's pose with our forehead on the mat. Take just a few breaths here, softening and relaxing. Now let's press back up. turning the blocks to the higher level. We're going to do a little shoulder mobility exercise here. So we're staying on all fours and taking the right hand on the block and doing 3 big circles. And then we'll raise the block up, looking up, maybe arching back slightly, pressing your hips to the right. And release it down. Now we're going to straighten our left leg, pressing our heel back to kind of move a little bit, feeling that stretch in your calf. We're going to do the same thing, lifting that right arm up, engaging your left leg and your glute. Maybe you're looking at the block, arching slightly back, getting this nice rotation twist. And release it down. Let's move our hips a little right and left. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So 3 big circles with the left hand up and back, taking your time. And then we'll lift it up, maybe looking up and back, getting a gentle arch, opening up the left side of our body. And release it down. Now we'll straighten that right leg, pressing our heel back, finding a little movement. And then pausing, really feeling like your leg is engaged, your glute, your thighs. And let's reach that left arm up once again, getting that opening up to the body. And release it down. Let's turn the blocks to the lower level. We're going to come into a downward facing dog. So with our hands on the blocks, you can bend your knees a little right, looking right and left. And let's find that stillness and really feel the base of your fingers and even your fingertips pressing into the blocks as you press your chest towards your thighs. I find with the blocks sometimes with this extra height, it can be easier to get your heels closer to or touching the mat. Let's move our hips a little right and left. We'll lift our right leg into a 3-legged dog. And then 3 times, we're going to bring our shoulders forward, lifting our heel, bringing our knee towards our nose. And on this last one, let's pause and hold, pulling in our belly. And then drop that foot in between the blocks, getting our feet shoulder length apart. Let's bring the blocks to the higher level. Find just a little bit of movement here, forwards and backwards. And we're going to do those rotations with our shoulder again. So find a little stillness, pulling your legs together, lifting the right block up, and doing 3 big circles. Following your breath, so you're inhaling as your arm comes up, exhaling as it comes down. Now we'll place the block down, dropping our back knee up and down, feeling this stretch in our left hip flexor. And then drop it all the way down. Top of the foot is on the mat. Let's bring the right block back a little bit so we can let our knee fall out as our pelvis comes up and down. Again, just stretching our hips a little bit differently with a little height. And then pause, letting your pelvis sink, knees falling out. Maybe you're gently pressing on your blocks, looking back. And release. Let's walk the blocks back, keeping our back flat. We're coming into this half split, so you can bend your elbows as you lower, maybe pulling your right hip crease back a little bit. And release. We're going to place the blocks on the lower level so we can come back into downward facing dog, finding that movement. And then finding that stillness, pressing those fingertips and the base of the fingers on the block. Maybe moving your hips a little right and left. And we'll raise that left leg into three-legged dog. And 3 times we're going to come forward, bringing our knee towards our nose. Last time, pause and hold and squeeze. And then drop that foot down, changing the blocks to the higher level, getting a little bit of movement. And then we'll find that stillness, squeezing our legs together, getting our foundation before we lift the left block up and around 3 times. Now let's drop that right knee up and down. Then drop it all the way down. Top of the foot is on the mat. Bring that left block back just a little bit so you can let your left knee fall in and out as the pelvis lifts up and down and the elbows bend and straighten. And then find that stillness, maybe looking back, getting a little rotation as your left knee falls out. And then let's slowly walk the blocks back, coming into this half split with a flat back. So pulling that left hip crease back, left toes are up. You can bend your elbows, chest is coming forward, and breathing. And release. We're going to place the blocks to the side and come all the way down on our bellies, turning our head to the right. Let's take a few breaths here. And then we're going to bend our right leg, reaching our right arm back to grab the outside of our foot, pressing our foot into our hand. Feel how that gives you that little tension. And you can keep your thigh on the mat, or if you'd like, you can lift it as you're continuing to press your foot into your hand. And then release it down, pulling your foot towards your bottom, getting this quad stretch. You can even pull your toes down a little so you're flexing your toes, getting a stretch on the front of your foot. And gently release. We're going to turn our head to the left and do the same thing on this side. So bending that knee, reaching back to grab the outside of your foot, pressing your foot into your hand, and you have the option to lift your thigh up. Now let's drop it back down and pull that foot towards our bottom. Again, you can push your toes down too if you'd like. And release. Now we're going to try full bow. So your forehead is on the mat. We're bending our knees, reaching back for our feet, keeping our knees together. So we're pulling our legs together as we press our feet into our hands. And then slowly you can lift, and maybe you lift your head up as well. And breathe. Squeezing your shoulder blades, trying to keep your knees in so they don't splay out too much. And gently release. Let's slowly press back into a wide-legged child's pose. So big toes are together, knees are out. We're going to gently come down, letting our forehead drop, softening all of our muscles. Slowing our heart rate with our breath. come up crossing our ankles so we can come back. We're going to go down on our bottoms. One more time playing with the blocks. We're going to take one block between our thighs with our knees bent, feet are flat, the other block overhead. And we're going to engage our stomach muscles. So when we do this, we have a posterior pelvic tilt. And what that means is the top of our pelvis is tilting posteriorly when we contract the abs. So our back goes flat. So that little gap under your back will go away. So this is what we mean when we say posterior pelvic tilt, engaging your abs. So we want to keep our back flat against the mat as we lift our legs and our arms up and then tap our toes as our arms come back. So as your toes are coming down, that's when you may feel like your low back wants to raise up. So keep focusing on engaging your stomach muscles. Just a few more. And the next time your arm and legs come up, pause. Let's straighten our legs and flex our feet. And then we're going to lift the block up to tap our toes. So our shoulder blades are lifting off the mat. Just getting a little bit of core work here. Last one, pause and hold, pulling in that belly and breathing. And slowly release down. Let's drop one of our blocks and take the other one and place it under our bottom. So going into a supported bridge. Your knees can be right over your ankles, or you can bring your knees together. Let's pause here for a few breaths. Now bring your knees apart, and we're going to do some very little windshield wipers with our bottom on the block. So this is another nice way to give yourself a massage on your glute muscles. Shouldn't have any pain. If you ever have pain, you can always take the block away. Now we'll pause with our knees up and lift our right leg up, giving a little bit of a squeeze. You can keep your left knee bent, or if you'd like, you can straighten it down, letting your toes fall out. And you can stay like this, or if you'd like, you can lift your left leg up and do a few little circles. Maybe circles the other way. And pause. And drop that left foot down. And then the right foot. We'll go to the other side. So pulling in that left leg, keeping that right knee either bent or straightening it, letting your toes fall out, using your arms to pull your leg up. And if you'd like, you have the option to lift that right leg up and do a few circles. And circles the other way. Now let's place our feet flat on the mat. We're going to lift our bottom into a bridge and remove that block and take it overhead and hold it over the mat as we lift our pelvis up and breathing. And release it down. Let's take our knees and our hands and give a little squeeze. And then we'll place our right leg on our left thigh, pulling it in. And switch. Left leg on right thigh, getting this nice piriformis stretch. And let's do one last stretch with a strap. So we'll place it around the ball of our foot, straightening that left leg. Let's gently pull it towards us and notice if it feels any different since the beginning of class. You can move it a little right and left. Hopefully it feels a little more loose and open after all the hip things we did. One final little squeeze towards you, and we'll switch sides. So you can always have a bend in your knee. It never has to be straight. You shouldn't have any pain ever. You should just feel a nice stretch in the back of your leg. Maybe you want to find a little movement. And we'll take the strap off. Let's relax down on our mats for a short Savasana with our feet falling out, palms facing up. Completely relax here. We're not going to be here very long. Give your body this time to integrate your practice. Start to deepen your breath. Maybe finding a little movement in your hands and your feet. You can bring your feet together and do a long body stretch. Let's make our way up to a seated pose. And let's end class today with one Om. So Om is the universal sound. It makes a beautiful vibration in your throat. It's very relaxing. So let's take a deep breath in for Om. Hands together at heart center. Let's bow our heads, giving ourselves gratitude for showing up today to practice and come home to ourselves. The light in me honors the light in all of you, and together here now and always, we are one. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this practice using the blocks and the strap, and I hope to practice again with you very soon. Have a wonderful day.